talking to you live. Real quick, sorry that I was unable to stream for the last couple days, although I had been planning on it. My internet connectivity had issues. So I believe we're back up and running for good now, and I'm planning on doing a stream later on today. So I don't have a time nailed down just yet, but there's a bunch to talk about, obviously, and I'm more than likely going to be joined by at least one or two people. Although I don't have that nailed down just yet, I've got to, you know, put up the bat signal and see who can be available and when today for a get together and a stream. So I just wanted to, apologize that I've been sort of AFK the last couple of days, and it was not by choice, but by my internet service provider sucks the big one. So, anyways, I will be streaming. It'll probably be later this evening, and I just wanted to give you all a heads up to be on the lookout for that. I'll try to post links and let y'all know, like on socials and with the post on YouTube, in terms of when we're going to do it. But I would imagine it's probably going to be like 7 Eastern-ish or something, unless there's anybody that ends up joining that can't do that time. If we have to reschedule for another time, then I'll let you know. But that's what I'm going to be shooting for, is about 7 o'clock this evening Eastern Standard. So that's really just the gist of this post. I just wanted to pop in and let y'all know, sorry, I had planned on doing a couple streams, and I actually fell asleep. And then I woke up, and I was ready to stream, and the internet was down. So it happens. I mean, it seems like with Spectrum, who's my service provider, it's like very frequently. But, what can you do? I thought that I was down because, they've been sending me threatening emails and letters that if I don't pay them $137, they're going to cut me off, which I really don't understand how they do their figuring over there at Spectrum. Because, see, I'm on a promo where I pay $50 a month for high-speed internet, and I haven't even had the service 2 months. It's kind of a long story, but I originally got the service set up in September, but that was next door. And so we had the service about 2 weeks when we got hit by Hurricane Helene. And during those 2 weeks that we had it, like, it was down a bunch of times for like days at a time. And then we moved, and they had to, like, they set me up as a new account, and we didn't even get our internet switched over. So like after Hurricane Helene, we didn't have internet for like 6 or 7 weeks after that here next door. And so now, like, we've been here with internet for like maybe a month, like definitely not more than a month. And they're saying I owe them $137. So again, even if we're talking about 2 months at $50 a month, that's $100, right? And on top of that, I had to pay a $130 deposit just for them to come and hook the service up originally. That $130 deposit was supposed to apply to my first bills. So I'm sitting there thinking, why don't I have some kind of a credit, right? And so it is a bit more complex, because when I moved, I had assumed that I needed to bring my equipment with me. So I did. I had the equipment here. When the second installer came out to try to hook it up, and they couldn't because there was a area-wide service outage still because of Helene, he laughed in my face and told me that the woman who told me that I needed that equipment on the phone didn't know what she was talking about. And so that equipment was supposed to stay at the residence that it was installed at, which, hey, no big deal. At that point, I still had a key to the place next door. So I went next door and put the stuff in the house, told the landlord, and locked it. Well, then he had people come in, like, paint and, get the house ready, clean, whatever. It's still sitting there vacant, by the way, which is kind of funny. That, it certainly is funny to me, because, I mean, it's besides the point, but I'll tell you why in a minute. But the thing is long story short, when I finally got in touch with the landlord to ask him, hey, can I go and look for my shit that Spectrum's charging me for, or wanting to charge me for, or wanting back, the stuff was gone. Okay. So I called Spectrum, told them all that, and I wanted to speak with a supervisor, but the dude that I spoke with was very professional, very good, and he assured me that there was a process, and he believed that he agreed with me that I probably was ultimately not going to be responsible for paying for that equipment because I followed their instructions and I did my damnedest to be diligent and return their equipment. Because believe it or not, I've been through this kind of shit before with Spectrum in the past. Okay. So I'm like, I go above and beyond to try to be diligent. But like, once I followed their instructions, put the equipment next door and locked it up, and told them that, then they continued trying to bill me for that same equipment and sending me threatening collections notices like, if you don't return our equipment, we're going to send you to collections and you're going to have to pay this, that, and the other. They're still sending me these threats. So I called them again, Spectrum, and this woman, using the term loosely, there's something else I could call her, but I'm a respectable gentleman, so we'll go with woman. She basically told me that I was SOL, out of luck, because they had tried to call me back after I had done that escalation thing where I talked to the guy and ultimately decided I didn't need to speak with the supervisor then because there had been a process for exactly what I was trying to do. And so I went with the process. But okay, so anyway, so this woman said that because I didn't answer their calls 3 times, that I was basically shit out of luck and I was responsible for paying for the equipment that was now lost. And the thing is, when Spectrum calls me, it comes up as spam. So like I'll save the number in my phone, but then they'll call from a different number that comes up as spam, right? It's like a toll-free number. And so like I don't answer spam. I just don't. And so when I told them this on the phone, the guy said, "No, don't worry about it. Like I'm sure we'll get it resolved." But so now they sent me a text this morning saying if I don't send them $137, they're going to cut my internet off. And it's like, again, I'm still sitting here just trying to figure out like, how do I owe them 137? Like, even if we're going with like so again, I originally set up service at the end of September, had service, beginning September, maybe like September 10th or September 14th or thereabouts or so. And then Hurricane Helene was like September 25th or so, right? And then we didn't even have service until well into November, right? And so November to December, that's 1 month. We're not even into my second month, dude. And they're saying I owe them 2 months. Like it's over 2 months. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out. And so but I'm the asshole because because math is hard, right? I don't know. Anyways, so I don't know how I go on and on. What's up, Neil Costantino? Hey, brother. Lol, I'm poor. I know. I'm so poor. Neil, send me a text. I did reply to your comment. I know how that goes on YouTube, but if you can, send me a text message on my phone, and that way we can link up. Because if you try to call and I don't recognize the number, I usually don't answer. I mean, unless I'm expecting you, but just text me, 864-315-7892. And I'm wanting to link up with you guys. I think we're going to try to do a Saturday. I don't know if that's going to be this Saturday or next, but I will, we'll make that happen. But hit me up, man. I know y'all are on the Discord thing, but it's just hit or miss for me. So just if you don't mind, just text me, man. Yeah, Flat Earth Effect, Spectrum, they do. They suck, man. The service is pretty good, but they're billing this. Like honestly, I had Spectrum years ago, and they pulled the same kind of shit before, but I had the whole bundle, like the kit and caboodle of packages or whatever, right? So like the more packages you get, the cheaper everything gets, and so you think it's a good deal, right? But then you get your first bill and it's like $450 or something, and you haven't even had the service a month. I swear to God, the last time I dealt with Spectrum, like they got me on a promotion and like set everything up, and it wasn't even within 3 weeks. It was like 2 weeks, like a week and a half into this thing, they're sending me a bill for like $450. And so when I call them and try to figure out what they're talking about, they were like, well, no, see, the first one's due, and the next one, if you want to pay it early, you can, but that one's technically not due. But I'm like, but wait a minute, man. Like honestly, why don't y'all just hold on to your bill? Let's save some trees. Because at this point back then, they were mailing everything, right? Let's save some trees, and why don't y'all just send me the one bill once that motherfucker's due? How's that sound? But no, they wanted that $450 to stay on the bills. And so I'd send them a big old payment before it was due, and then they would still try to send like collections warnings. And so like when you call them like, oh, it's just because our system is, it was like a nightmare dealing with those motherfuckers, honestly. But the reason that they wrote me in this time, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be a customer because there are options, and I'm probably not going to be living here much longer. We got to go. Like we've got to move. We got to move out of here, and I don't have anywhere to go. So I don't think I'm going to be changing internet service providers here, is what I'm saying. But so like we live in cow country here. So like my next door neighbors, well, like across the street, there are literal cows, and my neighbor that has the cows has wild turkeys that do free roam sometimes. So it's like it's almost as if someone's like playing fucking Goat Simulator, but the fucking wild turkey version out there. I swear, it's crazy. But cows and chickens and wild turkeys over here, and then so we live in cow country out here. Okay. And so historically, you could not get internet out here forever. Like there just wasn't internet, right? But a few, like I don't know, at this point it was September, so a few months ago, there was a black dread, doing canvassing, and I wonder what dude is canvassing. So I went and approached him, and he had the Spectrum Blues on. So I'm like, okay, Spectrum. So at that point, they were the only hustle in town, okay, because they had just finished installing the fiber optic lines. They'd been working on it for the last year, right? You can see them driving home from work or whatever. There they are working on the lines. So they finally had just got it done, and I was like one of the first customers that Spectrum got on this whole area, right? But that's how they got me, because they were the only game in town at that point, and I actually liked the guy that, you know, I usually get along swimmingly with Drez, you know what I mean? But the thing is, you know, now there's options. AT&T finished their fiber optics like a few weeks ago, and I'll tell you what, when I had AT&T Spectrum, which is what I switched to from, and I'm not getting paid by AT&T to say this, right? I'm not like a big fan of AT&T, but the last time Spectrum pulled this nonsense with me and I switched to AT&T Uverse, I loved it. Like it was terrific. Their billing was like, it was way cheaper than cable. The on-demand user interface was way better and way more responsive. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever had Spectrum on demand, but like, I just can't stand it when you're trying to navigate through the on-demand menu, and like there's no caustic response, right? But also it takes like 10 seconds for the damn thing to respond to what you've done. And so you like hit the button 10 times trying to get it to do once. And then by the time that it does the first one, now you got to wait for it to go 10 past it. Like I can't stand that, but that's how Spectrum's was. And AT&T Uverse was like a zillion times better. So, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, the only reason that the thing that sold me on going with Spectrum this time was because there was a 12 months free cell phone thing, right? So me and his cell phone, she doesn't have a cell phone bill for a year now. But it was a whole big rigmarole trying to get a phone that was compatible with them. And then I had to deal with corporations not wanting to unlock those phones that I paid my money for. Right. So it was just a mess. And I finally did get it. You know, I had to buy the $250 phone through Spectrum in order to get it to work with their system. So whatever. But I'm sick of it. Like, honestly, I will eat that 12 months free phone in order to run away from Spectrum at this point. Like, I'm really about there. Yeah, absolute crooks, man. Life lessons. Do I need a video editor? Yeah, man. I mean, I think we need to team up. But, you know, the thing is, though, is if you team up with, I mean, hypothetically, I'm not applying this to anything. Hypothetically, if you team up with Jesuits, Freemasons, and shills and crypto globetards, then, you know, it kind of is self-defeating, especially when they like to go behind people's back and character assassinate people, right? So as long as you're not like that, you know, then yes, I need a video editor. But like, I really think that we need a physical, like a physical bat cave type of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, things can be done very brilliantly through, you know, the virtual world, but there's just really nothing like being in the same room with people, you know, and having a drink with people that you just can't get online. You know what I mean? And especially with the way that AI is these days, I mean, for all I know, like you can have a conversation with someone on FaceTime, and for all you know, it's a fucking robot, or like a, you know, like not a robot, but a bot, an NPC, like a fictitious thing. So anyway, but yeah, man, life lessons. My number's all over the internet. So like if you're interested in working together, like I'm all about collaboration. You know what I mean? I think that like that's the only way that we can really do this and make an impact. But you know, when you collaborate with the wrong people and when you dive headfirst into obvious false dichotomies that are clearly designed to be an effigy of flat Earth that is sacrificed in the public spectacle, right? I mean, that is not the sort of thing that I'm ever going to jump on board with. So if you know if you're into that kind of thing, then no. But you know, just hit me a text, man. We'll talk for sure. 864-315-7892. I do enjoy video editing, but it is very much time consuming. And, you know, every video of mine that you see is I've done from scratch. Like it's all me. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It's more of an excuse as to why, like, if you think, oh, the More Guys videos are so shitty, right? And I know they are pretty shitty, but it's because like I'm the one that writes everything. Yes, most of them I write a narrative script that's all coming from my head, right? But I write out the script and then edit that script sometimes multiple times, then record that either audio and or video, and then go through edit that, and then make a bunch of slides and pick out videos that I want to, you know, demonstrate. So that, you know, video editing is a huge part of the process. And then, you know, to answer your question, I think really if I just had someone to fucking render them, that would be so helpful, because rendering, especially like a long form video, takes hours and hours. Sometimes it'll take like all day, especially if it's a crappy computer. And now your computer is tied down. You know, you don't really want to be doing a lot of anything while you're rendering, because if you get halfway through a render and then your computer crashes, guess what? You got to start the whole render over. And so, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And as much as I do love video editing, I'm not the greatest at it. Agreed. You know, there's a lot to be desired on my video editing skills. But at the same time, I think that, you know, my time could be better spent on other things. But, you know, if I have to do video editing, then that's what I have to do. You know what I mean? So, but human interaction is against the rules. Yeah. Guy Ishmael, random scrolling and finding what's it about. Oh, I was just letting everyone know I'm going to be doing a live stream this evening, probably around 7 o'clock Eastern. The content is the truth. So we talk about all things that are objectively true and laugh at things that are theoretically true but objectively false, right? So we're all about the truth at this channel. There's about 10 years worth of content you are free to peruse. The playlist feature is a good feature because I have my content sort of curated in different genres, if you will. And so sometimes over 10 years with 300 or 400 videos spanning all sorts of topics, it can be difficult to put me in any sort of a single box, but it also can be equally difficult to find you know, good samples of the cross sections of work that I do. So check out the playlists tab on my channel if you're interested. I do a lot of documentary style videos about a variety of topics. And then I also do a lot of live streams. So I'll be streaming this evening around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. What is today? Today is Wednesday, right? I don't even know. No, no. Friday. Goddamn. I'm like yeah, Wednesday, Friday, same difference. What is the fucking date, dude? Yeah, Friday, December the 27th. There we go. All right, y'all. But that is what I was. I just crawled out of bed, and I wanted to let y'all know that my internet is up and running, and so I will be, God willing, you know, unless barring any sort of more issues with Spectrum, I'll be streaming this evening for sure. So be on the lookout for. I'll do a post and let y'all know concretely when we're going to do it. And I'll also put up some links on Facebook and different socials. So definitely bolo, y'all. Thank you, Outback Bear. I appreciate that, man. One love. There's a lot of it, but it does go back 10 years, and it can be daunting. So definitely check out the playlists. Also, you know, just a heads up, there were certain periods of time on YouTube where I had like community guideline strikes, and so as punishment, there used to be YouTube would punish you by cutting your videos uploads to 15 minutes. Okay. So during that time or during those times, if I wanted to put out like an hour and a half documentary, I had to do it in 15-minute chunks. And so for those examples, there are a few, like a handful of documentary style videos that are playlists, right? So there's one, and actually I'm going to re-upload this one coming up. I'm glad you mentioned this. So there's one, it's called a Flat Earth Working Model, and it's in 3 parts. So it's a 45-minute video. I think like the first one, the first 15 minutes, maybe like, I don't know, 5,000 people watched it or whatever all those years ago. And then the second part, the second 15 minutes, maybe 2,500 people saw or whatever. And then by the third one, nobody even really watched it. And so what I'm going to do is put those together in one. Oh, wow. Thanks, Outback Bear. Appreciate that, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Um, but I'm going to put those together in a single edit, render that, and re-upload it because it's important. It's so prescient and pertinent to the things that are going on right now. And God bless you, Outback Bear, for that super chat. And I hate to seem like, I'm just getting your super chat and running, but this was only intended to be like a 5-minute stream here, just to sort of let y'all know. Sorry that I wasn't able to stream for the last couple of days. I had internet connectivity issues, but God willing, as long as nothing else goes wrong today, I will be streaming this evening. So today is Friday, the 27th, not Wednesday. I'm sitting there trying to figure out the damn date before, and I'm like, Wednesday. Just ignore me, folks. Ignore me. Okay, y'all be good. One love, and I will see you this evening. And again, just look for a post, or don't forget to subscribe and resubscribe, because a lot of people that think they're subscribed to my channel are not, because YouTube does proactively unsubscribe people from my channel. So I'm going to get a shave, shower, straighten up a little bit, and put a few things together. I know there's a lot to talk about, but I've got some work to do before I can just do a stream presentation. So give me some time, and I will see y'all later this evening. One love, you guys. Be good.